What is up, guys? It is your boy Royal Mech, and welcome back for another deck list. This one though is more close and near and dear to my heart. Is my standard Chronojet deck. Now, this is post tournament promo. So we, due to that new order, this deck did get a little bit of a fix up, and so we're gonna go into that today. So to start, we're gonna do the right line first. Chronodran has the typical starter ability when rolled upon. If you went second, draw a card. Really good. Then we get into Mazer Gear. Now, this line is actually required for Chronojet. If you try to do any other line, you're pretty much going to kill yourself with this deck. You won't be able to do anything this deck really wants to do. So, next mandatory one is Mazer Gear Dragon. He has the ability, when this unit is placed by riding from Chronodran, draw a card and get a Chrono Dragon crest. Next up is Smoke Gear Dragon. When this unit is rode upon by a grade 3 with Chronojet in its card name, Soul Blast 1, search your deck for up to one grade 3 unit, reveal it, and put it into your hand until you shuffle, and then shuffle your deck. Really good. Get you all that stride piece, especially when you're going second and your hand is pretty dry of threes, and you just get to go off from there. Then last but not least, we have our ace, Chronojet Dragon. He has the ability Generation Break 2. When this unit attacks a Vanguard until the end of that battle, this unit gets 5k DP, and your opponent cannot call grade 1 or greater units from your hand to the Guardian Circle. Really good. Great guard control. Only thing it does not stop is Elementarius, which is one of the reasons that card actually went up, is because all these stride decks. Next, and guard restrictors get more stricter. Next, he has the ability on Vanguard Circle, Counterblast 1. During your turn, when your G unit strides, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your opponent's rear guards, and your opponent puts this unit on the bottom of his or her deck. Now, for those of you who are wondering, well, you just mentioned a crest. Let's get the crest up for you. Alright. Let's go ahead and get this crest. Alright, so for those of you who don't know, the Chronojet Dragon crest has the following abilities. Continuous, you can perform stride and cannot ride grade 3 or greater cards without Chronojet in their card names. The original power of your grade 3 card with Chronojet in their card names becomes 13,000. Why is that important? Because that is the base power of all grade 3s that are primarily Vanguards in the standard era. It also has the ability, during your turn, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Chronojet in its name, which you always have due to stride rules, all of your front row units get 5k DP for each face-up card in your G-Zone. Then it has the auto. At the beginning of your battle phase, choose up to one of your grade 3 or greater rear guards and increase or decrease its grade to 0 until the end of your turn. So what this means is you get to turn any of your big grade 3s in your hand. You can revert them to grade 1s and grade 0s and use them to maintain aggression into continual attacks. Now, a lot of times, a lot of people really don't use this ability, myself included, but you should just remember it's there. It does give you a way to counteract and move forward. Now, on to the main deck. First, we'll go with the threes again. We do play an additional 2 Chronojet in the main deck. Reason being, we just want to be able to find one so that we can go into our next stages, being that next stage does require him as a discard fodder. But you do only need 2 at max additional, because you do have a way to search it and you have ways to search. You do draw a lot, as well as you have a way to bring it from trash if it's there. Next up, we have our other grade 3, which is Soul Funeral Dragon Necrucia. Now, we play 4 of these, and the primary reason is its secondary ability, but it also has some good abilities up front. When this unit is placed on rear guard or put in the Guardian Circle, choose up to 1 grade 4 card from your hand, reveal it. If you revealed a card or your Vanguard is grade 4, perform one of the following according to the circle this unit is placed on. If it's on rear guard, you counterblast the card, draw a card, choose 2 cards from your drop, and put them in the soul. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I forgot he could do this in regards to soul charging. I primarily have only used him for Vanguard attacking, but this is actually a really good ability. It just that this definitely can help Chronojet, because it does have an issue with wanting to maintain at least 2 soul at a time, and this helps generate that. He also has the ability, if this for the Guardian Circle, it gets 15k shield until end of turn. So on our games, we're not going to get the shield value, but we can use it for the soul value. And then its other ability that we definitely are gaining advantage off of is when this unit is discarded from your hand while writing a grade 3 card from your deck or paying the cost for stride, draw a card. That's why we use him, because he does the same effect as our good old friend Bali in regards to drawing a card for striding, but then he draws us a card also for just using him as the ride cost. So a card that helps us maintain hand is always good. On to grade 2s. We play 4 copies of Upstream Dragon. You will always have this at 4 in the deck. He has the ability of Generation Break 1. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, this unit gets 5k DP until the end of your battle. To the end of that battle. At the end of that battle, put this unit on the bottom of the deck. Search your deck for up to 1 grade 1 card. Call it to a back row rear guard and shuffle your deck. This is just a attack extender, primarily to give boosters, but it does work in tandem with one of our strides that keeps turns going. Primarily, your attack turn usually wants to be 2 of these on your first stride. So you want 2 on both rear guard circles, and both punching in, 1 becoming a new booster, then swinging, 1 becoming the new booster for the replacement grade 2 you use. Next, we play 3 copies of Steam Fighter Argandia. When this unit is put on Guardian Circle, Soul Blast 1. This unit gets plus 5k until the end of that battle. If your G Zone has a face up card, it gets plus 10k shield instead of 5. Why this is good is with some of the excess soul you have, you can use it towards guarding. And this is just another extension to the guard, so it can be a 15k or it can be a 10. And that's actually really good in flexibility, because there's, with number values as they are and how shields are being placed, 10 is a number that is highly missing in guard capability. So this being able to just go to as a 10 is really good. And that's primarily why it's here as a guard fodder. But you can use it on the front row as an attacker and then intercept with it later to still get the same effect. Then last, for me, I played 2 copies of Servant Falcracia. Now, she has two abilities. When this unit attacks a grade 3 or greater unit, choose up to one Dark States card from your drop. And this unit gets 5k until the end of that battle for each grade of that card. Put the chosen card into your soul. Why this is good in Jet is primarily because you're always discarding threes. And with that, you can use to use her to keep adding cards back in the soul, as well as in case of in all of your Shiranui matchups. This allows you to keep putting your threes of outside of reach of Shiranui, so he can't just blow up your board with quick, easy attack bases. And then it has the second rearguard ability. At the end of your turn, if you have a grade 4 or greater Vanguard, put this into your soul and draw a card. Now, we do not get to use that effect, sadly, because Vanguard never stays at grade 4 in the end of turn process, because you stride out before the rest of end of turn effects go into play. But still, really good card. I was originally running it at 3, but I realized 2 is just enough because you could literally search this out. And you primarily are going to use it, especially in your shared new matchups, as the last attack of your turn. So you can help yourself get rid of those 3s in the deck. Now, on to grade 1s. First up, we play 1 Jeweled Beast Amethyst. It has the ability, when placed on rear or put in Guardian Circle, put a total of 2 cards from Soul or Drop that were in the Ride deck into Ride deck face up, and perform either of the following according to the circle this unit is on. Now, it has 2 abilities. Rearguard Circle, we countercharge 1, which is really good. Guardian Circle, this unit gets plus 15k shield until the end of turn. So another 20k guard. Love it. I will say this was actually really good in Jet. I primarily, when I call it out, I'm using it for its rearguard ability of countercharge, just to make sure my opponent can't keep me great damage denied. And the factor that it just uses cards from your trash that were from the Ride deck, that just extends your soul to like 1 extra level of availability. Next up, we played 3 copies of Steam Skara Zargon. It has the ability, when this used boost, choose a unit. Choose a unit boosted by this unit, and it gets the auto ability, Vanguard Rearguard. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, choose up to 2 cards from your drop and put them into your soul, and until end of turn. So this just gives the ability of an on hit, which is a really good on hit for this deck because it helps keep your soul healthy. So I keep it at 3. This will usually go behind your Vanguard, but you can also flex it behind your rearguard circles to keep the game going. Next, we played 3 Steammate Narlums. These are our Sentinel. These are literally Chronojet related. That's the reason I maintained keeping them in the deck. Next, we played 3 copies of Steam Breath Dragon. He has the ability from hand. While you're paying the cost for Stride, this may be discarded as a grade 3. Another grade 3 we have, but it's a grade 1, so that now puts us at a total of 11 3s to discard for Striding, which is great and love it. And it has the second ability from hand. If you have a Chronojet Dragon crest, discard, search your deck or drop for up to 1 grade 3 card with Chronojet in its card name. Reveal it and put it to your hand, and if you search your deck, shuffle your deck. Really good card, especially in the early game. I normally, if I see this, I keep it. I use its effect pretty much immediately, where I grab a Chronos from deck, get the deck shuffled some more to help get that trigger ramp early, and it can't hurt. This is one of the reasons why we do only play 2 copies of Chronojet in the main deck because we can search it through this, and that technically gives us 5. Next up, we play 4 copies of Steam Scar GG. She is our main card draw of the deck. She has the ability, when this is placed on rear guard, if you have a Chronojet Dragon crest, Soul Blast 2, draw a card. And if this unit was placed by your opponent's ability, this unit gets 5k until the end of turn. Now, played by ability, you're primarily looking at getting it through upstream, or through the combination of crest and a grade 3 being turned to a 0, and a combination of one of our stride units. Ooh. Sorry guys, it's early for me. One of our stride units to get her out through effect. And she's just really good. You're keeping her at 4. She's always going to be a 4 in the deck, and she just does wonders for it. Next up, we play 2 copies of Steam Battler Gungan Ram. Now, Gungan Ram has the ability, auto, when this shit is placed on rear guard, Soul Charge 1. Really good, Soul Charged. Oh, no problem. Act ability, Soul Blast 3 and draw a card. This is another one of our draw engines, and as you see, we do have enough soul generators to where this is a possible play. It is not usually always done, so that's why it's here. Primarily, if I see it early, I play it. If not, it's getting played out just as a chain of events for upstream to help get my soul back in order. Now, on to the triggers. We play 4 Lively Breath Dragon. This is 4 crit. And then we play 4 copies of Steam Deviate Dragon. These are the effect crit. I play 3 of one printing and 1 of the other. That's the only reason why they're split like this. It has the ability, auto, at the end of the battle, this unit boosted. Put this into your soul. Choose one of your units. It gets 2k until the end of turn. Not bad. Sometimes that comes up. Majority of the time, it never does. It's just 15k in shield. Next, we play 3 front triggers. With Diabolus Girls Natalia. She's the effect front. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, this unit gets plus 5k shield, meaning another 20k shield to use for defense. Then we play 4 copies of 4 heals. I use Steam Scar Maligno, primarily because she's a Steam Maiden. She fits with the overall theming of the deck, as you can see. And then 1 Dark States Over Trigger. This is honestly the best over trigger for Jet, being that Chronojet has a massive guard restrict. So this on top of a Chronojet just means death, because your opponent's going to have to give all his hand away to stop this swing instead of just dropping PGs. Now we're going into our order cards of the deck. First, I play 2 copies of the new order, Footprints Marking Passage of Time. It has the abilities. First one, play this with Counterblast 1 if you have Chronojet Dragon Crest. Until the end of your turn, the GB ability of units called with this ability become active regardless of the number of your face-up G units. Choose a unit from your rear guard or soul, put it on the bottom of your deck. Search your deck for up to 1 unit. Search your deck for up to 1 unit card with grade equal to that chosen card's grade plus 1. Call it to rear and shuffle the deck. Why this is good is for just that ability. It allows you to search and locate your missing unit for your combo. Primarily, I've been using this to help me locate my grade 2s if I'm missing any. So if say my hand is full grade 1s and I have this in hand, Well, this turns itself for a counterblast of 1 into an upstream. So my combo turn is not completely lost. And then it gets to actually use its ability, even if we haven't strode yet. So even on my, if I'm going first, this gives me some form of gameplay all the way through. Then it has the secondary ability, which I actually enjoy. When this card is discarded from your hand while paying the cost for stride, choose your or vanguards or hearts until the end of the turn. Reduce the next counterblast cost you pay for that card's abilities by 1. Now, why this is important. This card virtually says discard me, get either your vanguards on stride or your G guards attack when attacking ability for free. Why that's good? This is another way to get around being damage denied, and that this is a main reason why we play it, because it helps get around damage denial. So with that, you keep it at 2. You can go 3. I think 3 is a little greedy, but especially 2. Minimum 2. You should not go less than this. And then last but not least, 1 Elementaria Sanctitude. For those of you who know, you know. If you don't, it's another Sentinel, but it's in order. And you may only have 1 Elementaria Sanctitude in deck. If your opponent's Vanguard has triple drive, this ability can be played without paying the cost, aka stride units or grade 4 bosses. Play this card with discard a card from hand if your Vanguard is a grade 3 or less. Choose 1 of your units, and this unit cannot be hit until the end of that battle. Remove this card. Now, if you notice something, it says you can play this when your Vanguard is grade 3 or less. So technically on a grade 4, you don't have to discard its usage. But they've errated that to say grade 4 or less. So this has been the main deck. Now we go into one more portion of this deck. This happens when you play stride decks, folks. Next we go into our G deck. We play 4 copies of Chronojet Dragon Next Stage. He has the ability Stride. Discard a grade 3 card with Chronojet in its card name from hand, and stride this card onto your Vanguard circle from face down. Easy, normal stride requirements. He has the ability Vanguard GB2, Generation Break 2. At the end of this battle, this unit attacked a Vanguard Counterblast 1 and discard 2 cards from your hand. Put this unit into your G zone face up. Choose 1 of your Vanguards with Chronojet in its card name and stand it. So virtually after this attacks, you do your 3 card checks, then you discard 2 cards, you restand Chronojet to swing again. And then he gets to swing while you have GB2 or plus, and he gets to swing your opponent's Vanguard with a guard restrict. And being that the crest is active, you're usually doing this after you've strode at least once or twice into the other unit we're going to talk about. And that's going to put you at about between 15 to 25k power extra to the front row. And then this just gets to go. Then you just get to go in with him and then following into a Chronojet. Now, last but not least, we play 4 copy of the Interdimensional Dragon, Fate Rider Dragon. It has the same stride requirements as any traditional stride, where you just discard a grade 3 to stride into it. But it has the wonderful Vanguard ability of when this unit attacks, counterblast 1 and turn a card from your G zone face up and put a rear guard on the bottom of your deck. Search your deck for up to 1 unit card with grade +1 of the card you put on the bottom of your deck for this cost. Call it to rearguard circle and shuffle your deck. Choose 1 of your units and it gets plus 5k until the end of turn for each face-up card in your G zone. So this card just escalates as the game goes on. So first time you're only going to get +5, then the next it turns into +15. Because this will count every card face up in the G zone. So the first time you did it, you've put one up, so there's only one available. The next turn, if you stride back into this, now you flip a new one up. Now there's 3 in your G zone. This is 15 to somebody that doesn't have a booster. And that just makes things worse. But this is also why we have cards. This stride alone is why our crest can be so powerful, because it can turn this from a 0, turn this 3, we turn it to a 0, and then turns that 0, time leaps it into a grade 1, one of our mini grade 1s, that we can then make it X more powerful, just because of the effect of the Mazer Gear. However, not Mazer Gear, Mystery Fate Rider. But that also doesn't mean we can't do it with 1s and the 2s and do the same, have the same threshold. But the deck has created ways where you can go from a 3 or 2 or 1 into something more beneficial, where then we just sit here and gain more power and then get to laugh about it later. And that has actually been the deck, guys. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you like the deck. If you got any opinions or things you would have done differently to the deck, don't hesitate to reply to those put those in the comments, and we'll test them out. I have not yet had any games recorded with this new build. This was primarily put into effect so I could be ready for my store champs to help fight Shiranui, but I did not actually go with this deck for store champs, even though mostly Strike decks took our top 4 seats. But this has been the deck. I will see you guys in the next video. Please don't forget again, like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.